My name's Meg Wilson. I'm a senior sales executive for K-12 at Sparkrock. I am very happy to be spending some time with you today. I will be kicking this session off, and then I'm going to be joined by my colleague, Jennifer Hume, who will be showcasing Sparkrock 365 and, more importantly, what's coming with AI. Okay, let's get going. So, key takeaways. We hope you leave today's session with newfound knowledge and a deeper understanding of the possibilities that lay ahead to truly transform the way employees use ERP technology. Our goal? We want you to envision a future where administrative tasks are streamlined, user-friendly tools enable better communication, breaking down silos, and employees are able to get data-driven insights and answers to questions using natural language. So before we step into the software, I want to share our vision for our customer experience with ERP. To do so, it's helpful to take a journey through the time machine of ERP. The story begins 6 decades ago with the pioneering work of Joseph Orlick. His vision was simple yet transformative: streamline business processes and drive efficiency. Back in the 60s, industries were grappling with increased complexity. Orlicky recognized the need for a comprehensive solution to manage and optimize resources. At its core, ERP was designed to be a game changer, enabling organizations to break free from siloed systems and embrace a truly unified approach to managing operations, communication, and decision making. Sound familiar? Has that happened? Ironically, despite the advances, not much has changed in 60 years. We're still seeking that goal of driving efficiency into the back end of our organizations. And a set of challenges persist. ERP implementations are notoriously for long implementations that can be disruptive to K-12's admin and delay the benefits of the investment that you've made into the product. We all know they're expensive, not only the investment with the vendor, but the internal investment of those very scarce K-12 resources. Ease of use has been historically a pain point. I mean, ERPs are designed to be comprehensive, and they can sometimes be complex and difficult for users to navigate. This complexity can lead to resistance among employees and actually hinder the system's adoption, especially for those that are coming off old technology. It's just such a huge leap. And then despite the promise of integration, there's still data silos. You know, again, K-12, you've got your student information system, you've got different interfaces that you need to connect to, and that can limit the cross-functional collaboration decision-making because of those silos. And then the learning curve's huge. Employees often need extensive training and they need ongoing training. And this can lead to, challenges and just to drive those improvements that we're all seeking. So, and I could go on. There's more challenges, and I think you're all aware of them. But what has changed since those early days is that there's tons of data now. It's insane. We have 2.5 quintillion, I can barely say that number, of data that's being managed and created every single day. And the reality is we're really not using it because it isn't easy to access or use or share. So our vision is to change that. We want to make it easy for you to consume and access the data you need, which means you need modern technology. You need deep functionality, and you really need a user-friendly interface that helps you take advantage of that deep functionality. And that's why Sparkrock made the very, very strategic decision many years ago to leverage Microsoft's investment in ERP and build out our functionality for K-12s on Microsoft's ERP platform. So we're built right within the Microsoft ecosystem. Sparkrock has a unique status as a Microsoft Dynamics partner that allows us to build our application within Microsoft's ERP platform called Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. And this is a platform that's available globally. So you've got tons of users that are using this product. Their fees allow Microsoft to continue to invest in that product, which means your investment is protected and you're always going to see fantastic new functionality coming out, which is what we're going to talk about when we talk about AI. So that was a great platform to base our functionality, but that platform didn't meet the needs of K-12. So we've invested in K-12 specific functionality to leverage that investment, but give you what you need. And the challenge is with pure focused vertical solutions, they don't have the funds to invest in that underlying architecture. So what this means is that we can offer the best of both worlds. So what you get with this Microsoft backend architecture platform is you get all the benefits of Microsoft's investment. So first off, $4 billion annually in security and privacy, which is huge and actually super important for K-12s, which are a big target for, as you know, big target for the scammers out there. In addition to that, Microsoft's spending $10 billion on OpenAI, and that's just for the OpenAI piece. That doesn't include Copilot. So when we get into that, you're going to understand that that's a game changer and a huge investment piece. And in the middle of that, on this slide, you've got the investment protection that I talked about. You've got Microsoft's investment in mobility support, interoperability, the whole ecosystem and user-friendly interface that you're going to see is super important. And then Sparkrock's vertical investment in K-12 on top of that. So what you get is functionality designs for K-12s and HR, payroll are some of the examples, a tailored experience, so streamlined for K-12, the education K-12 community that we create with our users, dedicated customer success, a single database, which is super important for our clients, back to that whole integration of data and silos. And then also Microsoft's quality assurance, because we have to code in Microsoft's high standards of coding. And then, more importantly, lately, we've been working with our K-12s to really understand the use cases for AI and investing in some optimizations that are going to really help our K-12 customers utilize the functionality that's going to be available with AI. So just to be clear, for those who aren't familiar with Sparkrock, we are a full ERP platform offering finance, procurement, HR, payroll, scheduling, time entry, reporting, analytics, so full platform. So before I hand it over to Jennifer, I just wanted to mention that, again, at Sparkrock, we were founded with the goal of helping social impact organizations like K-12s to do more with modern technology, geared specifically to your needs. This is why we made this strategic decision to base our solution on Microsoft, and you're really going to start to see the advantages when we step into the presentation that Jennifer's about to give you. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Jennifer so she can show you how we can help your organizations, your schools, run better.
Oh, thanks, Meg. So my name is Jennifer Hume, and I am a designated accountant. And I've been with Sparkrock for 2 years now. And prior to joining Sparkrock, I was a director of finance at a school division in Winnipeg. And before that, I was a CFO at a nonprofit in Winnipeg as well. And in both positions, I worked with Sparkrock, I worked in this product and its predecessors. So as a pre-sales consultant, I get to do what I love, and that is to work and to show organizations the Sparkrock 365 solution, because I believe that Sparkrock 365 makes people's lives easier. So I'm going to now continue on with the presentation. And I am going to talk about Microsoft's and Sparkrock's future. So Sparkrock has, as Meg had indicated, a long history with Microsoft. So it makes sense for us to look at them when thinking about the future. We have taken Microsoft's vision, or digital imperatives, and layered on our 5 pillars of innovation. They include the native cloud architecture. Sparkrock 365 is a true native cloud application, and we will continue this journey. The built-in security. So education, unfortunately, is a target for cyber attacks and is sometimes perceived as an easy target. As Meg said, Microsoft is spending billions of dollars each year, and we are leveraging that. The next innovation is the rich APIs and Power Apps. Sparkrock 365 already has many modern APIs in Sparkrock 365 and easy Power Apps with no code or low code software, offering a simple, more accessible way for everyday users to build applications without requiring extensive coding. These tools will be like Excel on steroids. The last two areas that I will be concentrating today on are the data collaboration in Office 365, and I will be demoing extensively the integrations with Word, Excel, Outlook, Teams, and also Power BI. All of these integrations are available today in Sparkrock 365. So when you're thinking about your digital transformation, where do you see yourself fitting in? Are you moving towards the cloud applications? Are you benefiting from Microsoft's investment in security? Do you already have APIs? And of course, are you leveraging everything that Microsoft has to offer? So the next pillar and the final one is the OpenAI and Copilot native integration. So we at Sparkrock are passionate about AI and how this can make your life easier. So I'm super excited to show you this. So again, it is my absolute pleasure to be here today to show you this solution. And the reason is that everything that I'm going to talk about today is always going to circle back to how it's going to empower your employees and enhance their user experience, or simply just make their lives easier. And I'm not just going to talk about it, I'm going to show you. So I am going to now show you Sparkrock 365. So this is it. This is Sparkrock 365, and this is an integrated system and is therefore one source of truth. As you can see up here, I am in a browser. I'm on a website, so there's no need to install anything. You just log in and go. Now, another way Sparkrock 365 is easy is that you can access it from many different platforms, whether it's a desktop, a tablet, or a mobile device, a Chromebook, Mac, or a Samsung. It doesn't matter. It will function the same way on any of those devices. And with the changing demographics in the workplace, employees want to work smarter and across many different devices. Now, I want to show you some specifics about this landing page. First up, at the very top, you can see that it says that it's powered by Microsoft. Well, that means it's managed and hosted by Microsoft themselves, not Sparkrock. So we are ticking all of the security boxes for all of the IT people. So back to the landing page here, or what we call the role center. Now, why do we call it a role center? Well, it's because what you see here is based on what role I have. This happens to be the accounting manager role center. There are many different roles, and it depends on the function that the individual has. So there's general accountant roles, there's human resources roles, just to name a few. And what is fantastic about the role-based dashboard is that just from looking at this dashboard, you can see exactly what is going on in my area of responsibility. I don't have to run a bunch of reports or check my emails to know what I need to do today. You can see I've got 91 overdue purchase documents. So also on this screen, you can see the cash balance and also new incoming documents, which this can be tied to an accounts payable automation or even an OCR service. If I keep scrolling down, you can see here budget sets. And budget sets are like little slices of the budget that I'm just specifically responsible for. There are user tasks. And if I drill into here, you can see all these different user tasks. This is something that I have created myself. And you can put weekly tasks in here, monthly, or even all of your year-end tasks can be put in here. You can make them reoccurring, and you can also assign them to other people. I am an approver in this company. So you can see I've got 5 requests that I need to approve. So whether it's a journal entry or someone's time off, it doesn't matter. They all show up in this one central inbox. And don't worry, if you're a casual user of the system, you will get emails reminding you of your outstanding approvals. And in the email, there's even a link, so you can just click on it and it'll take you right to the system. So a couple more things here. There are GL accounts, there's my vendors. So if there's certain ones that you want to keep an eye on, you can just pin them here for visibility. And then down at the bottom here, there is Power BI. So Power BI is a bidirectional integration, meaning data goes from out of our system into Power BI, and then we can represent those visualizations back here in this live Power BI dashboard. But I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I first want to talk more about some of the other features and integrations within the Microsoft Productivity Suite. So I'm going to start with one of my favorites, and it's called filtering. And to do this, I'm going to give you a scenario, and then I'll show you how to do it. So let's say I receive from the ministry asking for information about vendors that I have spent more than $500 with in the past fiscal year. And before I send it, I want to check with the purchasing manager to make sure that it's reasonable. So I'm going to navigate to my vendors. And I am going to go to my filter panel, and I'm going to create a filter. So I want to filter by purchases. So I'm going to fill that in. So these are the total purchasing dollars. And I want to do it by $500, over $500. So then now you can see my list has changed, but this list is actually in perpetuity. So that's not what I want. I want to do it for a specific year end. So I'm going to change my date filter to a fiscal year. And then you can see that this now has significantly changed the report. Now, what I can do is I want to share this with my purchasing manager. There's a number of different ways that you can do this. One of the ways is you can actually share it in Teams. So if your organization uses Teams, and maybe you're trying to declutter a little bit of people's inboxes, you can just go ahead and you can share it right from the system. And now I'm in Teams here, and I'm going to just send this to Kamna, who's our purchasing agent, and this link will take her directly to this report. If that's not something that you want to do, you can also just copy the link and send it directly to Kamna that way as well. Other ways, you can also just open it in Excel if you wanted to, and do what you need to do, and then send it that way if you would prefer that. So remember I said that this was a role-based system. Well, I should add one more word to that, and that is security. This is a security role-based system. So if I send this information to Kamna, and if she doesn't have the security role to see this information, she won't be able to see it using the Teams link or the copy link. So now I am going to show you another extremely useful tool, and that is the edit in Excel. So I am going to go ahead and edit this vendor list in Excel. So what's happening here is I am downloading a live version of the vendor list right into Excel. So I'm going to pull this over so you can all see this. So the first thing that it's doing is it's checking the data, it's filling in the data, and it's also checking to make sure that I have security to do this. Because now what I'm going to do is with this live version, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this purchasing code. So I've had a purchasing person leave the organization. So JR has left the organization, and I want to change all of this person's, all of their vendors, and I'm going to change it to JH. So I can just simply then copy all those changes down in this column, and then unfilter it. And now this is the beauty. I'm going to publish. And now what it's doing is it's taking all of this information, all of those changes that I've made, and it's publishing it back into Sparkrock 365. So when I'm going to move my screen back over, it takes a couple of seconds to just have it all uploaded. But once it's uploaded, I can go back into my system, I can refresh my system, and this JR purchaser code will be changed to JH. So this is a real transformational change, and this is built right into the platform to help you work more efficiently. So you can see here this JH has changed. So the next integration that I want to cover with you is actually sending emails. So right from the vendor card, I can go and I can send an email. So from here, I can go in, add my subject, or maybe you want to actually build a template. So you can build a template and then put the template right into the system here. You can make any changes that you want to change. And then right from here, you can send the email. And then once it's sent, you can now go into your sent emails, and there it is. This is the email that I just sent. So we're talking about email, so I'm gonna talk a little bit more, and this is actually an integration with Outlook. So you can go up, and these are all of the apps that are available from Sparkrock 365. So I'm going to go into Outlook, and the first thing that I want to show you is if I go into my sent items, you can actually see here is this email, the one that I just sent. Is also now showing up in my sent items. So it's in my sent items as well as what has been kept in Sparkrock 365. But from Outlook, what you can also do is you can download the Sparkrock app. And from here, I can actually go and I can actually see what this approval, what they're asking me to do. So I can go in, and this is real-time data. So I can actually drill down right on this balance. If I want to see what this invoice is for, you can see that. You can see all of your GL coding. You can go in and see there's an attachment. There is a note as well that's been left in here. And remember way back at the start when I was speaking about an email that you would get with a link? Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So if I click on this link, it's going to take me into Sparkrock 365, and it's taking me exactly to where I need to go to actually make this approval right here and now. So this is truly a modern way of working. And now that I've shown you some of the ways that Microsoft is really blurring the lines between the Microsoft Productivity Suite and Sparkrock 365, an equally important part of enhancing employees' experience is the idea of personalization. So let's go back to this role center. And now remember, I said that we were looking at the accounting manager role, and that there are many different roles out of the box. So that this is the first idea of personalization, where there are specific roles for specific types of users that get specific pages. Now, to further expand on these specific roles, you can actually change what the users see. And that's not what I wanted to do. All right. So from here, I'm going to show you a personalization that is just for individuals. So let's say this is March, and I no longer want to see my vendor T4A. I can go in here and I can click the bookmark, and now it's gone. So now maybe it's December, and I want to go in and check to see if all of my upcoming tasks are on my bookmarks. I can actually go in and I can personalize. So a couple ways you can do this is you can actually use this search bar, and I'm going to search for my T4 vendor. So here it is here. And I can just go in right here and click this bookmark, and it's back here on my bookmark list. Now you might say, I don't want it over here. I want it closer to the front of my bookmarks. So I can actually go in and I can personalize by grabbing this little red chevron, and I can move it over to wherever I want. And then that's done. All right, so the next area that I want to show you is a workflow. And to do that, I am actually going to use another role center. And that role center is a department manager role. So this could be someone in a school, maybe a principal, or maybe an administrative person. So for this scenario, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another scenario where sometimes there might be friction between maybe finance people and people in the schools, because the school wants to purchase something and they feel they always have to phone finance or maybe check their budget book. And then finance is saying, why are they always asking for permission? It's in their budget. So you can see where this can get frustrating. So what Sparkrock 365 does with the different role centers is when I'm in this department manager role, you can then take a look and see, do you have funds available? And to do that, we're going to budget check and we're going to use the financial analysis. So I'm going to go into the financial analysis. I'm going to go into my department. And from here, I can view the data and I can see these are the 3 areas that I have permission to go into. And again, it is underlined, so I can actually drill down and I can actually see what is it that I purchased in that area. So that's sort of the proactive budget checking in the system. And sometimes people are very busy, so they don't always have a chance to do that proactive. So sometimes it's reactive. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and that's through a purchase requisition. So the first thing is when you do a purchase requisition, you're going to choose the type, and the type is standard. You can set up many different purchase requisition types, and this is really all around workflows. So maybe if this is an IT purchase, you'll want to insert someone from IT. But for this one here, we're just going to use an expense type of, it's just an expense. And the number, it's their meeting supplies. So we just type that, I just typed that in. There we go, meeting supplies. And I'm going to enter a description here of what those meeting supplies are. And we're going to buy 2 of them, and they're $50. And then I'm going to choose an account set code here. So these are the only account set codes that I have the ability to purchase from, and that's all with my permissions. So I'm going to do another line, and this I'm going to show you because this is actually going to show the different permissions that people have. So this is for HDMI cables. So this is again for $50. Now this, I'm going to choose a different account set. And when I do this, now I am, it's going to show you in a moment the different approvers. So I'm going to verify this. So this is the reactive budget checking. So do I want to continue? I'm going to say no. And immediately then this populates. So it shows me that this particular line is over budget and this one is under budget. So maybe that makes sense to you, that that's what you had expected to see, but at least you can take a look at that when you're making the requisition. So I am good with that. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to request approval for this. Do I want to continue? So I'm going to say yes. So now it has sent the approval. So down here, this is what I wanted to show you, where you have 2 different approvers for 2 different lines on this one requisition. So this is the budget checking workflows that I wanted to show you. So now I'm going to flip back to the accounting manager role. Here, I'm going to refresh this, and you're going to be able to see that no longer does it say that I have 5 outstanding approvals. Now there's going to be 6. So you can see how that in real time is updated right away. So you can see that this workflow can really greatly improve the speed at which decisions can be made, and also help maybe some tensions that exist sometimes in your organization. So I'm going to talk now about the reporting. There is reporting in both the finance and the HRP areas. So these are canned reports that are available. So these are the financial statement ones, and again, there's some in the HRP section as well. But I'm going to spend a little bit more time on the Power BI. And there's 2 different reports that I'm going to show you. So this first one, I'm going to expand it. So this is taking information just from Sparkrock 365. So here you can see that here is my vendor list. Here this shows you geographically where they are. I can move this slicer if I want to change the dollar amount. I'm going to flip over to my employees here so you can see my employees, their assignments, where they work. This one is also a great tab. This is for employee absences. So you can look for patterns maybe if you want to see absences on just Mondays and Fridays. Or you could also say you just want to see a specific employee as well. So the next Power BI report that I want to show you is really transformative because this one here actually is pulling information from both Sparkrock 365 and from a student information system. So I'm going to expand this again so you can see this. So this here is really amazing because it not only shows you student information, which is over here, but it also shows you HR information about teachers. So if I want to see just what's going on with Jasper Elementary, you can see there's all the students from Jasper Elementary. If I go and I click on Ms. Allen, so now these are just Ms. Allen's student data, but because it's also pulling from the HR section, it's also telling me that Ms. Allen and Ms. Goebel actually job share. So these are the types of transformative reports that Power BI is able to do. So now I am going to talk about the AI. And so this is a feature for the future. And Microsoft Copilot is revolutionary and is really going to make life easier. To start this, I'm actually going to show a short video. It's about a minute long, and it's going to give you a little bit more information about Copilot.
You're used to asking questions to uncover the insights you need and solving problems by chatting with coworkers, customers, or vendors. Now, Copilot in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central offers you a new way to continue the conversation. Copilot is your everyday AI companion for work, built on Microsoft's industry-leading privacy and security. It's here to help you find the answers to your questions quickly and easily. For the first time, Business Central users are empowered to interact with their data using their own words. Use Copilot to skip traditional menu navigation and locate records faster. Didn't find exactly what you were looking for? You can ask follow-up questions to clarify and refine your search. Copilot acts as a virtual assistant, helping you track down the right information at the right time, all using natural language. Even complex searches become easy. Get answers to questions on how, when, or why to do things. So new users can get up to speed quickly, and longtime employees can learn new skills. Copilot gives your employees an edge by leading them to the next step, so processes are easier to learn and problems are easier to solve. With every day bringing something new, Copilot helps you reclaim time so you can work smarter, adapt faster, and perform better. Be ready for what's next with Dynamics 365 Business Central.
So just to further talk about what we just saw there in the video, it's really around that natural language and asking specific questions, right? What vendor did I have the most spend with last year? Those types of things. So before I actually go into the product to show you, I do want to talk about the architecture because it is important for people to understand that on the right side here, this is the open AI, which is in the green, and then the blue, which is on the left side here. So this is where Sparkrock 365's Business Central is. So what is important to know is that the information that is in your system is only being viewed by you. And further to that, the AI is actually not learning from your information. So let's take a look at the AI that's actually we've started to create in the system. So this is it's right on the dashboard here. So Sparkrock AI. So I'm going to put in some things that I may want to ask. So I'm going to ask it to give me all the vendors that I've not had any spend in this year. So maybe this is a starting point where I want maybe to do some cleanup on my vendors, and I'm going to ask the system to tell me what vendors I haven't spent any money with. So there's a lot of them in this in this company, but it's a good place to start. So other questions, maybe you want to ask, what is the vendor's highest spend? So who have I spent the most money with last year? Okay, here we go. So there's the vendor number, and it tells me exactly how much I spent. Now, there's also uses on the HR payroll side. So maybe I am an HR manager or a payroll manager, and I need to know a specific employee's birthday. So again, I can go into the system and I can just ask the question in plain language, what's this individual's birthday? And then it brings me back with the answer. Now, the other thing I want to show you is our employee self-service, which is called My Sparkrock. There's also AI that is being built into here. And this is really revolutionary for your HR and payroll departments because, many times employees will actually phone or email people in those areas and ask them for information about whether it's a collective agreement or maybe it's benefits, what they're eligible for. So what we're doing is we're putting all of that information into a resources page for your employee, and then you can ask the system, well, what is my effective date for my collective agreement? Well, if I scroll down here, we're going to be able to see it, but we're going to see, and so AI has come back and it has the right answer. But maybe your employees want to know what their health coverage is under their benefits plan. So there's another question that we can ask. And it'll generate that. So this is really something that the HR and payroll departments can actually depend on, that they can ask, employees can ask the AI questions instead of always asking them. This is a great one. So am I covered for orthodontics services? I'm sure that departments get this question all the time, and you can see it's not available right now. So as you can see, this is a prototype and it is still being worked on. So yeah, so that concludes the AI portion and the demo portion, and I am going to hand it back to Meg now. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. That was great. So one of the things we wanted to talk about is I mentioned earlier on that we have been actually meeting with school board leaders, directors of education, directors of finance, and we've been building a really strong list of use case studies. So, I've thrown up a list here. You know, it was some really interesting conversation around regulatory forms. We've also had some around student growth and being able to tie back that information to the strategic plan. I'm sure many of you on the call today have lots of great ideas of how you'd be able to utilize this. Some of them Jennifer showed today. Certainly we've heard HR gets tons of calls. So being able to have a tool within the portal that allows people to ask questions of an AI tool versus calling HR could be a huge time saver. So, you know, we'd love, if you have any ideas and you want to throw them in the Q&A on a great use case, we'd love to hear about it. Yeah, so feel free to share your feedback. Hope this was helpful for you, and would love to hear your ideas. We hope to continue to build on this. So thank you for joining. We're going to, as I mentioned, we'll follow up any questions, and we'll also provide the webinar once it syncs. It takes a bit to download, but we want to leave you with one more Copilot video, because there are a lot of people in this meeting that use Excel, and the Excel stuff is super, super exciting. So with that, thanks again, everybody. And here's a video to sign off with. Have a good rest of your day.
Copilot in Excel helps you make sense of all your data. Say you need to analyze this quarter's sales results. You start by asking Copilot to analyze the data and give you 3 key trends. Within seconds, you've got what you need, but you want to drill in. You ask Copilot a follow-up question about one of the trends. Copilot creates a new sheet, giving you a sandbox to play in and helping you better understand what's happening. You ask Copilot to visualize what contributed to the decline in sales growth this period. Copilot adds a little color to make the problem jump off the page. Now you want to dig deeper and ask a follow-up question with a what-if scenario. Copilot not only answers your question, it creates a simple model and even asks if you want to learn more about what it did with a step-by-step breakdown. Finally, you can ask it to create a graph of your projected model. Copilot in Excel turned a sea of data into clear insights and actions.
Well, obviously, those are kind of for-profit examples, but I'm sure you can extrapolate to think about the examples in your organization. Again, thanks for joining. Have a good rest of your day.